hello. Thanks for clicking on our faces. We're back again. It is what's tonight? Tonight is Tuesday.
There we go.
We are discussing, of course, the latest episode of Superman and Lois, in episode 5 of season 4. Now, before we get into the episode proper, we like to start off with a little bit of news that's been going around. And of course, guys, as always, we got two little pieces of news. So
Oh,
let's just get straight into them. The first, I feel like,
Okay.
is very exciting because this has been a long time coming. We have the Wayans brothers for Scary Movie 6. There was a tweet that went out from Marlon Wayans. It says, "We're back after nearly 20 years. The Wayans brothers are finally going to give the fans what they've been asking for: a return to the Scary Movie franchise. We're looking forward to having fun on the big screen again." So back for Scary Movie. Now, I remember when Scary Movie came out. Like, this is like early 2000s. Like, I think the first come out in the late 90s, or I feel like it's early 2000s.
2000s.
Yeah,
I think it was like after 2000 they started doing that, like
parody, like parody genre.
Mhm.
And it's pretty much, I thought it was pretty much well known that the best ones were the Wayans brother ones. The ones that they were involved in,
Oh
the
yeah.
ones were the funniest ones. And then, like, after they left, it kind of fell off a little bit, but they still kept making those movies.
Mhm.
But apparently, they're coming back. And I don't believe a date was announced with this, but I'm assuming it's coming relatively quickly. I wouldn't guess that this would take that long to put together. Parody movies usually, I feel like they come together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting news. What are you guys here for? Do you want another scary movie, or do you think they should just be done with the franchise?
No. I think honestly, I think they could probably do a 8, 9, and 10 over time because all they do is just make fun of other movies. You know what I mean? So there's definitely enough content that came out between then and now for them to make fun of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that they're continuing to do that, in my opinion, I think it's genius.
I think so. I feel like there's been a lot of scary movies recently, honestly, even with that whole, Winnie the Pooh horror one that came out. I hope that's in there. I swear to God. And yeah, there's been so many. What's it called? Movie came out a little while ago, Halloween. There's been all of these, like, kind of lesser known ones that come out, like more like gore ones. I'm sure they're going to focus on as well, but I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
But
A good time.
go ahead.
So I'm like in the middle of this. So part of me is like, oh man, that's so cool. But certain things, like, I'm the kind of guy where, oh, that was so cool for that time. But then I also look at this movie and there's so many things I would actually like. So when they did this movie in 2000, they did Scream and maybe something else I can't really think of around that time. But I really remember Scream the most, and I think eventually Saw and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I kind of would like for them to do stuff like, if this is supposed to be scary movies, like, have they ever done anything with? I forget which one movie. There was a movie that you guys said just now and made me think about 80s, like, oh, Halloween, right? There was one with Michael Myers. Have they ever done anything with Jason and stuff? I think stuff like that would be interesting. So, like I said, I'm in the middle of it, but if you got the Waynes back on, I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, cool, I'm for it.
All right. Well, I feel like it has also been, like, the Candyman sequel came out.
Huh?
That was a couple years ago, but still, I think that was still after any, like, scary movie or recent scary movie. But let's get into the second bit of news for this evening. Now, this is a little bit of Marvel news. Marvel reveals 2 logos for 2 upcoming series on Disney Plus. So we have Wonder Man and we have Eyes of Wakanda. Now, the Wonder Man logo looks a little basic. I don't know who put this together. But it looked like I could have did this in Canva myself. They could have gave me whatever millions they gave this designer to put this Wonder Man thing together.
I know that's right.
Yeah, it's just like, what is this? What kind of, we got Roman numeral font in yellow, and this is the logo? Like, come on.
Honestly, it's giving me
Wonder
like
Years.
no, yeah. It might literally be something from before,
Mhm.
from
See,
like.
this logo, let me tell you something. This logo got Vic so confused. He's wondering, right, man?
Mhm.
What?
No, I mean, I'm actually curious because I don't know. It just doesn't. I mean, look, even if you look at both things, like it's just kind of projecting like something old and something.
You know what that thing is projecting? That yellow is Hulk Hogan yellow, and it is hurting my eyes.
Oh
It is
wow,
just too goddamn bright for me.
it's
But
just basic.
yeah, I'm interested in see because I don't know nothing about Wonder Man, so I'm interested. I like when Marvel utilize characters that you might not be familiar with. So
Mhm.
the logo look, I agree. Let me get my thoughts together. The logo looked very basic, you know.
Yeah, but Eyes of Wakanda looks pretty dang good. Like I'm excited for this. I believe Wonder Man is going to be a live action series on
Sure.
Disney Plus, but Eyes of Wakanda, I believe, is supposed to be an animated series, and it's going to focus more on like an anthology of different characters in
Oh,
Wakanda.
really?
Yeah, so that's interesting to me. I'm always here for a good animated series because what they've been doing so well with What If. So I'm here for
And they did, and you know some other things too, because they had a lineup, and I don't have it in front of me. So good job on pointing out these logos. But they also talked about they're gonna have Marvel Zombies. They're gonna have Spider-Man Home. Is it Homecoming or something like that? I forget what it is, but it's like like the early years.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I know that one is anime. I mean animated. I'm sorry, not anime. That would be freaking great. A Spider-Man anime. Sign me up. But I know that's gonna be animated. And I think the same thing with zombies. So yeah, and their animations are usually pretty fun.
All
So
right,
I'm with it.
yeah,
And
so
you can
that
get away with a lot more too, by the way. You can just get away with a lot more.
exactly. I agree. But speaking of getting away, not to bring it back to Scary Movie 3, I'm sorry, Scary Movie 6, but I don't we're in different times now, guys. Do you think that they can get away with the same jokes that they were doing like
Oh,
way back?
absolutely not. I think that, and that's the thing, right? So there was jokes that they did all them years ago, and I just think in today's society, I think a lot of people would be like, no, absolutely not. So, and
Well,
not
I
for
don't think
nothing, Marlon Wayne is somebody, and I'll give you the floor. I'm sorry, Vic, but
Mhm.
Marlon Wayne is the kind of guy who's like, he he don't care. Yeah, I'm just gonna say he just don't care. So it might still have that same flavor, but I don't know how
I,
if the audience can be able to take it.
I don't think we should look at this as a sequel. I
I
think
think
it's
it's
just
like it's a revival. It's been
Yeah,
not even. I think that the revival of the content, yes, but like as far as what they're gonna be making fun of, I got a feeling it's gonna be totally different.
so you
okay.
don't feel like
Totally
it's going to be
different.
the same raunchy type of
Mm-mm,
jokes. Okay.
mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm,
Well, we'll
mm-mm. I
find
think
out.
it's just. I think that I have, and the reason I say they could do an 8, 9, and 10 is because like it's giving Family Guy, Simpsons, like
Okay.
something where they can
You
just
mean
make
it's been around for so long?
no. But the thing is just that like if you look, if you see early Family Guy, they can't do
Uh
that
huh.
anymore. You know what I mean? Another example,
Right.
South Park. You see
Okay.
early South Park, they're not doing that anymore, but they're still doing it. You know what I mean? So like I think they can make a movie and make fun of the time now, and then just and have a good time, because I really don't think it's good. And here's the other thing, another Scream movie recently came out. Like how long
Oh
ago?
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. The Scream. Yeah, I know what you're 4 and did they do 5? I forget. But
I
yeah,
think so,
Mm.
but like there's like 18 Screams.
with the girl
So
with our new Scream queen. What's her name?
mhm,
Ortega, Jenny
Oh,
Ortega.
it's the one,
yes,
the lady from Wednesday,
Wednesday.
right?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So
So
like
yeah,
I mean, mind you, they could even make fun of her, make fun of Beetlejuice. Like they can make fun of mad shit.
I
Like,
would
but
actually love that last part because Tim Burton's animation and the first Beetlejuice, I never saw the second one, was actually really terrifying. Actually,
mhm. But let's get into what everyone came here to discuss, the after show of Superman and Lois season 4, episode 5. It pretty much this episode was very Lex focused, right? It was heavy on Luther this episode. Yes, or I honestly, if this wasn't my favorite episode of the series, I'll just go ahead and open it with that. But we did get a lot of information. We got to see the infamous ex of Lex Luthor. She's filing for a divorce. She's sick of his BS, right? And she's telling him pretty much like, yeah, you never loved me or your daughter, and we're getting out of here. And of course, because he's a narcissist and a control freak, and because maybe he doesn't want his daughter to go, he fights it, right? He doesn't, he's like, trying to convince her, I've tried for this. And it was just a very emotional scene, a flashback before we get into the current scenes with Clark and Lois. They are trying to come up with a plan to kind of get Lex not to kill them. It's like, okay, they know that he knows that Superman is back, right? It's been broadcasted all over the place. So they're in the kitchen trying to come up with some kind of plot to figure out what the F is going on, right? So Clark tells Lois, like, yeah, let me go ahead and try to appeal to his heart. Let me just talk to him and see what's what. And Lois is like, you can't talk to that. Well, you go ahead and do that. I don't think it's going to work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig through my daddy's stash, and we're going to find out
Absolutely.
information, right? So as she's doing that, right, as she's digging through the stash, trying to figure out where Lex's daughter Elizabeth actually is residing now, because she's in witness protection, no one knows where she is, right? The secret died with Daddy Lane.
Daddy Lane.
Yeah. Then we get to our boys. The boys are up to no good. They look like they I don't know if they were buying or something with these
hoodlums. These hoodlums bought firecrackers, sitting there saying, "Hey, the world is getting ready to end, but let's go out with a bang." Now the Kent boys are good boys. They didn't buy it. They were just there for the festivities.
Jordan is not a good boy. They were hanging out with the kids who had all of the fireworks in the trunk, and looked like they was enjoying it. Look at them; they was just as ready to see them fireworks as everybody else. And with the girl in the photo, after everyone leaves, she pretty much tells them like, "Hey, I know that Superman's your dad, and I'm glad that he's back." And they're like, "Oh, hey, what do you mean? You mean?"
I love it. I love that they were like, Superman, Dad, and they're like, no, don't worry about it. I'm not going to tell. I love how so I know throughout the season, 2 people realize that their dad is Superman, and they're like, oh, I won't tell. Like, yeah, because they're lucky that this Superman doesn't kill, because you be like, why would I be scared? This guy could kill you. I did want to touch a little bit earlier to that scene that you spoke about where Lois and Clark was in the. Can you put that picture up one more time? Look at the fear in Clark's face. Lex Luthor got this man shook.
Yes.
This man, when someone sit here and say, hey, can I go and talk to you? Instead of putting their fist up, that means that guy shook.
Yeah.
He don't want to be sent to the afterlife again. He didn't like that shit. So he sat there and said, I'm going to sit here. We're gonna sit on the couch like how Oprah Winfrey used to do back in the day. And we're going to talk our feelings out. And I thought that was hilarious, and I enjoyed all of that. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that.
But he did look very much shook in this photo. But he show up right. He did show up face to face with Lex. Lex about over.
But look how much bigger he is than him.
Yeah, that's why. That's wild to me.
Yeah,
I blame the casting director, because if you knew you got a little Superman, why you gonna get this big old Lex like that? That don't make no sense.
I love this scene though. Go ahead.
But what I don't understand, right, at this point, Superman tries to talk to Lex and appeal to his humanity and, to him being a father, saying, yeah, maybe Lois shouldn't have taken you away from your daughter, but please don't take, our family apart, yada, yada, yada.
Don't kill me. No. Let's be real. Please don't kill me.
Like begging practically. Yes. And Lex was like, all's fair in love and war, guy. You're going down pretty much. He doesn't care. Someone at this point.
See the superior. I don't mean to cut you off here, but I think that's no one says you're going down anymore. This is not the 1990s. You are going down. This is a kid from Recess.
Yes, but my thing is, this is fucking Superman. Right? Lex is out here by his lonesome in the cornfields. Why? And I get Superman's a good guy, right? He doesn't like to kill, right? He doesn't want to do any of this.
Sure.
But this man already killed you. He already took you away from your family. He already tortured your kids and has a vendetta against your wife. At what point are you going to say enough is enough as a man? You're supposed to be the man of the household, right? And you about to let this man walk away knowing he's about to come after you and your family. And you're not about to do shit all about it. You're not even about to pull out the damn laser beams or the ice breath. It's like, come now this is some BS. You could have snapped this man in 2 seconds, but you're going to let him come after your family. Like, this is what I don't like about this scene, because I get that Superman is this, this moral, he's better than us, right? He's supposed to be better than us, but he's still raised on Earth, right? He still loves his family. It still should come to a point that he's like, I have no other choice but to kill this man. And he had no problem trying to kill, what's his name, monster version of him. He had no problem. Yeah. Because later in the episode, we see that he's going through this little simulation with his mom, and he says several times he killed him. So it's like, you can kill this big old, thing that's just,
So I want to touch on a few things here. First off, I feel really upset that I missed out on this joke. But earlier in the show, when we were talking about how he had that heart-to-heart with, I'm sorry, that sounds so insensitive talking about Superman, right? But he has the heart-to-heart with Lois, and he said, my mother taught me to speak to someone from the heart. And I immediately kind of chuckled. But then also, too, I want to talk about this scene. Now, Mama Krypton, she said to say, put this simulation on. I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, if my mother had put a simulation of me getting my ass kicked, I think I would have a freaking problem. Hey, let's figure out what the problem is. And, Superman's heart is already weak. So you already know he's going, because he's having flashbacks of getting his ass kicked. Yeah. And I just thought that was very insensitive of Mama Kryptonian. That was I didn't realize it until you said it. I was like, that's a simulation of you getting your ass kicked. I think all of us could sit here right now and say, if our mothers put a simulation of us getting our ass kicked, we would not like that at all.
But I guess she was trying to help in her way. She was like, yeah, let's see where
let me traumatize my son.
Yeah. But it's like, you can kill Doomsday, but you can't kill Lex, who's the source, right? The one who's really trying to get rid of your family. But okay,
that's fair. Because my rebuttal was going to be, go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
The only thing that I think about that, why he wouldn't do that, is because Lois put like the fear of God into it. Because one thing I noticed is that the young boys, they were thinking about it. I was like, he's in the hotel. Like, we could go get him right now. And my mom was just like, no, don't you dare do that. Blah, 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 blah. Don't you? I know Lex Luthor, boy. He's gonna. And listen, the guy's very calculating. Everything could be a trap. The guy could have, he could have some kind of backup plan where all of a sudden, and then later on in the episode, you also see where it's like Clark is all like, where the hell are they getting all this kryptonite? I noticed that because, like, Lex apparently has access to all this kryptonite, so they're really scared of him.
One little laser beam, and he's curtains. He won't even have time to pull out the damn kryptonite. He was at his back. The way he got Superman so bitched out in this episode, he had his back he walked to the car facing away from Superman, and Superman didn't do jack snicks.
No, he didn't. Matter of fact, if I could throw in a caveat there too, as you sit here and say he turned his back, guess who left their place first? Superman. And I just think that's saying something when, look, Lex Luthor really got Soups in the hands right here. He's really got him like this, because even the way he approached him, like, I'm not going to lie, there's certain people I just know I couldn't talk trash to like that because I would get laid the hell out. So for him to sit here and say, what are we here talking about? What do you want? And even the way he approached him, and he goes, Superman, or is it Clark Kent? I guess it depends on the costume that you wear today. I'm sorry, I make him sound like Wilson Fisk, but I just thought all of that was great. I thought that was great, and it just showed the power that he has, even though he's, like we were all saying, he's human. Why is this Kryptonian having this alien, I think is a better way of putting it, having a hard time with this human?
So, but after that scene, we do see old girl come back. This is Jonathan's little girlfriend, who lived with him for a short amount of time, coming back into the city to spend some more time at his house, I assume. And it's still weird, but he had to go and help out Lois. Lois, gave out the call, and he was unable to pick her up. So Jordan stayed, even though he couldn't drive, and picked her up. But the reason why Lois had to get Jonathan was because she needed his help to take her over to London, because this is where Lex's daughter has been hiding whole time. And I'm like, obviously, and Lex could have figured out her mom's English. Her mom was saying since she was a little girl, she wanted to take her to England. and you couldn't look through England to try to find this woman? Like, you this billionaire, multi-billionaire, powerful man. I don't know. It seems weird. But anyway, she tries to convince Elizabeth to come back to Smallville to talk to her dad because he's running amok, right? Again, we see the girlfriend and Jonathan. They are discussing pretty much how he's kind of been secretive. He's not telling her like what's what. And she kind of senses that. He makes up this whole story about he had to help his mother with a story, an article.
Yeah.
But we all know that's a lot.
If I could just jump into this, because there's been moments of this series where Lois gets on my nerve. She's driven and all that stuff, but this kind of got on my nerve here because she acts. This is Jonathan, right? Okay, Jonathan. I need him for something. She's like, yeah, hey, I know Candace, you came here to see him, but I need him for something. Mm-hmm. And he already gave out this lie. He's trying to make this work, but obviously it's kind of on the dome, and he's not good at that. So he looks at his mother like, right, we're gonna go save some puppies, right? And she's like, oh, don't worry, Jordan will take care of that. And I'm like, oh, you mean the kid that you was gonna get killed? Okay, yeah. Great job, Lois. Good job.
Lois got a lot on her plate. Lois got a lot on her plate.
But even still, you do not throw that on your children. They look. There's so much going on. There's so much.
She grown. I don't give a damn about what this little girl got to go. Like, if you don't just, first of all, what is the little girl doing in my house, for one? And two, I'm not about to waste my time trying to come up with any story for this little girl. You just tell her whatever you need to tell her.
But didn't Lois allow this? But didn't Lois allow this?
Wait, isn't she the girl that got that they took out?
The father, yeah. It took me a minute to realize that too. I was like, yeah, that's it. All I'm saying is that she knew about this, and she could have at least helped out Jonathan with the lie to at least help, because wasn't that the whole point before? It's like, hey, we gotta hide our identity, wink wink. I'm just saying the kids didn't know what to do, and the mother needed to leave.
What lie that they came up with, so she wasn't about to say yes or no, and she would just be like, all right, well, Jonathan, you're gonna handle it. We gotta go though. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, the Meg of the family will handle it. Handle it, Meg. You can take care of it. before I press the phone number 2 again, and I have Doomsday come and eliminate your ass. Yeah, that's right. Let's just go ahead. Yeah. I mean, Lois has been on. Honestly, Lois has been fuck Jordan this whole season. So what's the difference?
She has. But they made their peace in the last episode, so I don't know. Maybe everything's cool. But looks like it's slightly.
It's kind of cool, but not really. Hi, Charmaine.
Hi, Charmaine. Thanks for watching. We got from here. Bill A. Jordan, the secret villain again. Like, Jordan couldn't fly Ma to London. Let bro get.
But see that why didn't in the sabbatical, right, of being a superhero, because she couldn't ask him to at least, he's not fighting anyone, he's not confronting Lex Luthor, he couldn't have flew her to England, right?
Exactly. That's some BS. Jordan was being selfish yet again. I can't stand Jordan, man.
First of all, Lois might be protecting this little girl. This boy just got his powers. He don't know how to control himself. His girlfriend just came back. You know what I mean?
I love Vic.
Is like a man out of prison. You feel me? Like, he's about to tear that ass up.
Oh, Lord.
You better get away from him.
Oh, wait. Okay. So now things change. Because I was laughing at Vic. I said, look at him trying to be the voice of reason. Because I was sitting there saying, oh, Lois is trying to protect. I'm like, I've seen how Lois protects people. Keep it. But now I see that you meant it from something different. So my bad.
Also trying to protect herself from killing somebody. Like, he doesn't know.
But yeah. Anyway, it's a mess.
Lois is the only one that knows what it is to have sex with a super person.
What a Kryptonian.
Exactly. So she might be protected.
Well, we don't know that. Hold up. We don't know if him and Lana did anything.
No, wait. We found that out.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. You're right. I forgot. My bad. Okay.
But we also get back to I think this is when we get a little.
How strong is Lois? All right, let's go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll move on.
A flashback of Lex and his daughter when she was very young, pretty much telling her how, he wants to be a dad in her life, and they're going, him and her mother are going through the divorce, but he still is very much wanting to be present in her life, right? Then we flash forward to present day Elizabeth. This is her currently. And luckily, when Lois came to visit her over in England, she was able to convince her to come, because by this point, Lex knows that Lois has been talking to Elizabeth, and he shows up at the Smallville Gazette in the wreck, right? But Elizabeth come down the stairs. She's like willing to talk. They go across to the diner because, as I said many times before, everything happens in the diner. They have
Including
like,
the twins.
yeah, they have this discussion. They're talking. They're eating their pancakes, drinking their coffee, and pretty much she learns a little bit about Lex, how we also do, about how he grew up in the South Side of Metropolis, and
No, it's the South Side.
right.
So it's the South Side. Sometimes I feel like I've heard so many stories. Well, I went on the South Side, so so you're a roughneck. Okay, I'll stay away from
It's
you.
always the South Side, right?
South Side, Jamaica, Queens.
But apparently, this Lex, he grew up, in the struggle in the South Side of Metropolis, which is different than what we see in, like, let's say Smallville, where he always had like a little bit of money, right, Lex? So I thought that was interesting. Same thing with the Penguin. We see in the modern version of the Penguin, he's come from, nothing, and as opposed to in the cartoons where he came from a wealthy family, like his parents were wealthy or something like that. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, apparently Lex went through a lot of trauma as a child, and he shares that with his daughter for the first time. And, she's saying how she never knew that about him, but how she is willing to kind of have him back in her life if he's going to be a new man, like, not go after the Clark and them. But he's like, oh, they gotta pay. He can't get up. He can't give it up, right? He's stuck on this vendetta. And she leaves. So, Clark had to come back and be like, oh, please, please, please don't leave.
He had to beg, yes.
Beg her to stay in order to save his family, instead of just killing this man like he should have did and back in
this scene actually kind of got on my nerve here. I was just talking to my mother about this scene. So, you broke down that there was two parts to this. Like the first time when they're talking and she's very standoffish, when he asks like, who's the father and stuff, and she's like, oh, well, you don't deserve to know that. And she's already turned off by him. She's like, you've never taken responsibility for your actions. I don't want to be around this. And that's where, like how you mentioned, because I know Clark can move at the speed of sound, but he moved a little bit faster when she needs to get up. He said, oh shit. And he ran so fast. He said, listen, because he pulled out I lost my father, and I know you missed. I was like, okay, you got your ass kicked one time. You said, I never want to taste defeat ever again, because I felt like that was gaslighting. Is that what the
did?
Okay, it wasn't just me then, because I really disliked that. And she kept saying, and I'll give you the floor, but she kept saying, like, this is hard for me, and I'm sorry about that. Don't put this on me. She kept saying, I can't change him. That's not my job.
I agree. They were not even just gaslighting. They were wrong for trying to force this woman to do this. First of all, she's pregnant. We didn't mention that. She's a woman that's 6 months pregnant, right?
Yes.
And they are forcing her to go back to her father, who there's some clear trauma around that, so much so that she went into hiding to get away from this man. And you're like, well, I know that, I don't care, but please say something to, get back in his life.
Please, I don't want to die again.
Yeah, as opposed to just using your laser vision and taking this man out. You're about to traumatize this woman again, and this pregnant woman. And it's like, no, if someone's toxic in your life, cut them out. Even family.
Hello. Say that one more time for the people.
Cut them out.
Cut them out. And friends, family, whatever. Go away.
Right. But they are being a little selfish this episode, the Clarks. And they're making her go back. But it looks like hairpiece they have Lex wear. They should have had him film the scenes, then buzzed his head. I agree, because this hair right here ain't working with nothing.
I love all of it because it's ridiculous. It's honestly, it's really ridiculous. I agree.
Like, it's not it.
Someone mentioned in comments, I think it was last week or a few weeks ago, they said he looked like Johnny Bravo or something like that with that hair. I just think it's hilarious. He does, right? Yeah. I think that's the only reason why he doesn't wear sunglasses. Because if he wore sunglasses, I was like, I would have definitely have done that every time I saw him.
I mean, he definitely could play a live action Johnny Bravo.
I'm for it. I'm for it if it involves Superman begging for his life. So yes.
I'm sick of Superman in this episode, but
I know you are.
The boys. They're at the party with Jonathan's little girlfriend, and she's had enough. and tired of the lies. But again, Jonathan gets called away. Jordan has to kind of, smooth things over with her.
Right.
And they get to the scene where when Jonathan leaves, Jordan kind of like looks over at the girl as she's, with this group of girls, the girlfriend. And he has this little smile on his face, like he's, he thought of an idea. And we don't see until later in the episode that his grand idea was allegedly to tell her everything. Now, again, the way it's phrased, I'm not sure what he told. Do you guys think that he for sure told the girlfriend that his dad is Superman and, they both have powers? Because when Jonathan comes back, she tells him, oh, it's okay. Jordan tells me everything about your dad. I know everything. So do you guys think that Jordan told her the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. Because like I'm you know what? Because initially, yes. But then I'm sitting there wondering maybe there was some other thing that he came up with about, oh, my dad is going through this and this and this, and they found a way to kind of tell the truth, but not the full truth. Like, yeah, my father is sick and he's trying to do all this thing. But yeah, initially, yes, I did. Matter of fact, I honestly thought there was going to be a spot where when she said, just tell me or I'll leave, I thought he was going to actually just show her like he could fly, like they were going to go somewhere and do all that, but that didn't happen.
I don't think he told her.
I believe that.
You don't think so? Okay.
I believe he told her because I mean, like, she's the girl that he likes.
No. Jordan told her, not Jonathan.
Oh, my bad. No,
I don't think Jordan told her. I feel like he maybe told her that, his dad is sick, like Jack was saying, or his dad just had like a heart transplant and they need more help or something like that. But I don't feel like, because why would he tell this girl? Like, who is she? You're some random high school, girlfriend that's about to be broken up.
But you know what I'm starting to think too, and some of my mother mentioned here. This is kind of like Mama Bad Guy report, but she was mentioning because we got to remember, and I forget what episode it was. I want to say it was 2 or 3. There was a fat drunk who saw Superman, and he could tell by the way how that family was that he could tell who Superman was. And then you have this girl here too, so maybe this is like a small indication of the town is going to eventually all know, because I mean Lex Luthor he can easily expose them. So I just think
she knows as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Shit, that's the girl I'm talking about. That's the girl. I don't know what her name was, but Candace.
In a small town moves super fast. They all know.
Mm-hmm.
They all know.
Yeah, so I think he might have already said, let's just beat him to the punch.
Facts.
Well, we'll find out in the next episode.
Absolutely.
But pretty much, Clark gave his Hail Mary with trying to convince Lex to not kill them. And of course, Lois, she has a plan A, which was Elizabeth, but she also had a plan B. She goes out and uses the clicker, pretty much the clicker, to call over Doomsday. She's like, look, you know me, you know who I am. And apparently this is the Superman from previous seasons.
Yeah.
I swore he was like Bizarre. Was it Bizarre?
Bizarre Superman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Right, because you're talking about when the flashbacks, and you see this thing where I think he has the same memories as Superman. That's why. Because it is Bizarre Superman.
Or is he Doomsday? Or in the comics where they,
no, they're two separate characters. They took liberties here.
Oh, okay. This is a whole new thing that they turned him into.
Yeah, because Bizarro was a different character from Doomsday. Because Bizarro comes from like this other world, and then Doomsday, I don't know, come out of space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, apparently this is also, they're one and the same in this series, and she was able to appeal to the heart of Doomsday, in a turn of events. It isn't the heart of Lex who they needed to appeal to. It's the heart of the monster. And, I don't know how I don't know how Lois.
Right. I know what you're going to ask.
I don't know how she was able to interpret the grunt of this monster as, okay, I'm not going to kill you.
I mean, you know what it is? I think she could read grunt. Because you got to remember when Superman died, he said, so I think she's been learning grunt for the last few weeks.
I guess so. So that was pretty.
Well, you know what else is too? No, real quick. You know what else too? Where she learned, if you look at Doomsday, he had like the flames in his neck, and then it started going away.
Okay.
If you look at the details, like right there, he has a lot of like flame right there. And I noticed when they zoomed in, it started going away. This scene was a reminder. I saw someone post this on Twitter. Shout out to them. I don't know their name, but this is reminding of Avengers Age of Ultron. And she said, the sun's getting kind of low, big guy.
Oh, yeah. Black Widow.
Yes. And the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was interested because I thought you was going to say, because I told my mom, I said, so I understand like the DOA, they got a lot of stuff, but I thought the clicker was exclusive to Lex Luthor. And
Facts.
but I'm trying to remember in the series, this season, did he drop it and she picked it up? Because I don't think the father would just have it. Or did someone pick it up? I'm just saying, like, how did he have it? Does anyone remember? Because I just thought that was interesting because Lex Luthor don't really leave any ends open. And I just thought,
if they dropped it, it definitely wasn't this season. I don't remember a scene like that in this season. Maybe there was something at the end of the last season, because Doomsday was in the last season as well. Mm-hmm. So possibly in last season, but definitely not this season.
But you got to remember too, there was that episode where he came back just to kill the grandfather. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out in that time period. Huh?
Remember? Lex wasn't there. He was FaceTiming the murder.
That's true. He was FaceTiming. Matter of fact, one of the pictures that you posted up, it looked like he was FaceTiming his daughter, and he was right there. If you look at the picture, all you see is a floating head. But yeah, look at him.
Like the it from in the swamp, sort of, underneath the streets.
I want him to play Zordon now so badly.
But yeah, I'm trying to think, and if anything else, I think that was pretty much the episode.
Well, this last piece, these badass kids are blowing up fireworks. Lois is sitting there with her wine, all happy. Mm-hmm. Superman fly with the speed of fear. We gotta go home. We gotta go we gotta go, Lois. We gotta pack our stuff and move to a whole new town, change our name, everything. It's time to go. Lois is like, baby, sit down, please. You're embarrassing yourself. This Superman, I'm sorry. Look. I agree with C. Superman, we get it. He's a good guy, but Superman has never been portrayed as such a like punk. This was kind of embarrassing, actually.
I think that was on purpose, because I think that the main character in this show is Lois, not Superman.
Ooh.
For the first time ever. Say what?
Shout out to Lois, because she's my favorite character, and apparently. According to and Mama Bad Guy, they don't like Lois.
Oh no, there's a few times Lois gets on my nerve.
No, but I seriously think that that's by design.
She do. Honestly, I'm sorry.
Like, I've never seen. I mean, because Lois Lane has this attitude, but like, and mind you, here's another one: the Lois Lane from My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah,
that's another hardcore strong one. But she's basically running the show, right? All the other Lois Lanes in history was always like, just somebody with quick wit, but Superman was running the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This woman is handling 3 Supermen and her stubborn father. Mm-hmm. Like she
well, not much the father now.
Yeah, no, but my whole point is just that, like, she's got everybody wrapped around her finger.
Well, I will say Lois and Clark back in the day, that Lois was very capable as well. That old like 90s one.
Sure.
But I really like Lois in this series particularly. I feel like she's very smart. I feel like she's really the one holding the family together. And I enjoy her. She's my favorite character, actually, if I'm being honest, is Lois. But yeah, let us know what you thought about the episode, guys.
Please.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Please like the video if you like the video. And join us next week. Around this time, we started a little late today, guys. So sorry about that.
Sorry about it.
Time next week, around 7:10 or so. But yeah, thanks for being here, and good night. Goodbye. See ya. Bye.